Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today, and today I'm going to be doing my first impressions on Jacob Melton after he has made his Major League debut and has been with the Astros for a little bit over a week now. It has officially been 8 games since Melton joined the team, and all those 8 games for Melton have been starts. Not one of those games for Jacob Melton is a game where, he's coming off the bench. Never mind. I think one of those games was he has 8 games played, 7 starts. So I was wrong about that. So one of those games was a game that he did not start, but still played in. So 7 starts so far for Melton, and he's played 8 games. He's played he's played all over the outfield, mostly in left field. He's played 5 games, 5 starts in left field, 1 start in center field, and 1 start in right field. I believe that first start for Melton was in center field, but yesterday was in left. Has been playing mostly left 5 of his 7 games. I think he's been solid. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure he's ready for the major leagues. Look, I think he's a very solid hitter. I think one of the reasons why the Astros called him up is this Astros team right now is really banged up. They're really injured with Chas, DeZunzo, and Jordan injured, but also the need of a left-handed bat, and that is what Melton is. And the Astros really need that. And Jacob Melton has provided that. So, but this is a 24-year-old kid. I mean, so I just don't know how I just don't know how ready he is, because there's still a lot of struggles there. Sure, you're gonna see a rookie struggle with striking out, but there's been a real problem in striking out. 39, almost 40% of his at bats he has struck out in. That's a big problem. He struck out 9 times in 23 at bats. Now, I think here's another really positive thing. He's been really good with stolen bases so far. 7 starts so far, already 3 stolen bases, but the 9 strikeouts has not been great. And look, he only has 4 hits in 23 at bats, and 2 of those are infield hits. So only 2 real base hits out of 23 at bats. Am I saying just because of all this stuff that means you should give up on him and stop that? And stop what you've got going here? No, I think with how banged up this team is right now, unless one of Chas or DeZunzo comes back in the near future, keep playing Melton. Because the playing time will be good for him. He'll get better as he keeps playing. But I just don't think he's ready right now. But it can take some time. Like you saw, I think, Melton is older than Cam Smith, but I think you saw, and with Cam Smith, there was a little bit of it took a little bit of a minute for him to get really going. I mean, like you saw in the first couple games he had, he looked good. And he actually looked pretty good in the first couple games he had. Like that first 6 games the Astros had at home, Cam Smith looked pretty solid. But if you guys remember, when the Astros went on the road, Cam Smith started to look horrible, and that's when everybody started talking about Cam Smith going, he needs to go back to AAA. He needs to go to AAA for the first time, because the Astros went on the road against Minnesota and Seattle, and those were cold atmospheres, and Cam Smith just played horrible. And he struggled a little bit after that as well. Or no, I think he started to get hot a little bit after the Astros got back home after that road trip. And then you slowly start to see him get better and better again. Still, just continue to make improvements. And now we're seeing what we're seeing from him. How great he has been this year at 22 years old, never playing a game in AAA. So, but with Jacob Melton, I hope it's one of those things where you're seeing him struggle like he has struggled at times this year, early on, like we saw with Cam Smith, in that Seattle Minnesota trip where he just looked horrendous. But that is what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. It's just like, you're going through it to start off your career, and then you start getting going. I'm not saying you give up on the dude, because I think there's a lot of solid things. Like I said, the stolen base has been a great addition with him. 3 stolen bases already in 7 starts. This is another key thing. He only has 4 hits and 2 walks. So he's only been on base, I believe, 6 times. Unless there was an at bat where it was a force out or something like that, or foolish choice. Maybe, possibly, he's been on base more than that. But, he's got all right, look at the 4 hits he has and the 2 walks. That's getting on base 6 times. He has 3 stolen bases. He has a stolen base in half of the times he reaches base. That is great right there. And I think that is a real positive thing. But I think there are negatives like the striking out, not getting much damage done outside of 2 infield hits and a couple base knocks. That one of them was a 2 RBI single though in Pittsburgh. But so I would just hope that things can get going for him. We'll see what happens. He might start today. I predict he'd be in the lineup, and I would hope for his first hit at home that's not an infield hit tonight, because he doesn't have a regular base hit at home yet. He's got 2 infield hits at home and two hits on the road, 2 regular hits on the road. So this is a video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Go Astros.